Hey, what's up, guys? Jeremy here, Consciousness Awake. How are you doing? Hope you're having a really positive day wherever you are. And if you're not having a positive day, let me send you some positive energy coming right to you because I got a little extra for you. So, anyways, I want to do a quick video about the etheric body, about some experiences with the etheric body, because it seems that there's a lot of people who are not really familiar with this etheric body, energy body, even though, for a lot of you guys, you're having experiences in the 4D etheric body, especially you more active astral projectors out there in the Conscious Way community. So let's talk a little more about the etheric body. I want to explain something. Okay, so I get out of my body, right? This has happened to me many times over the years, okay? And if there are, let's say I'm getting out of my body. Typically, I'm getting out of my body 4 a.m., 4:30, 5 a.m., 6 a.m., within that range for the most part, 90% of the time. And there are, over the course of my life, ever since being a teenager, I've lived in different houses. I've lived by myself. I've lived with, roommates, with my family, my parents, my, just family, just in general, like a lot of you, So whenever I popped out into that etheric body, in the 4D etheric is what I call it, and if there's other people sleeping in the house. So if they're actually sleeping, well, this is what I see. Okay, so let's say I walk by their room while their physical body is in their beds. So what I see is it's almost like a copy or a mirror image. A body that looks very similar, almost identical to the human body, and it's floating up a couple feet. Sometimes it's just a foot, or sometimes it's like 6 feet. It's never the same, but it's basically levitating. This etheric body is levitating. And you could see kind of like a cord, you could see like energy and like cords, and you could see how it's kind of attached. It's not always the same. It just depends. But typically, yeah. So if you see another person just sleeping in their bed, and you're out in your 4D etheric body, and through your etheric eyes and that other energy body, you see this other body actually with like a cord attached, a tether, umbilical cord, however you want to put it, and that other this etheric body that people have while the human body is asleep is just floating and hovering there, and it's kind of like in a sleep state. It's not like really awake. Like if you go up to it, which I've done, you go up real close to the face and eyes of someone else's etheric body while that person is sleeping in their human body. If that person is not actually astrally projecting or doesn't have any consciousness shifting, into that etheric body just kind of it's almost like it's dormant in a way. It's really interesting. It's like almost like a fetus in a womb, with an umbilical cord. It's very similar in nature. Just different. It's just in this other dimension, this other lesser dense matter. The other density. And of course, like I've said before in many of my videos, we have many different energy bodies that are connected to different densities of matter, or that's really what it is. It's not that it's different dimensions. It's just different planes of different density of matter. That's probably the better way of putting it. And then consciousness can function, operate in whatever body is tied into that density of matter, within those different places. So So pulling someone out, or trying to wake someone else up. So like so you're out, you're in an OBE, you're in, your consciousness, you're actually projecting into your etheric body, and you see some other human sleeping in bed, and you see their etheric body, floating above them, and you go up to it, and you start poking at it, and you start shaking it, and all that kind of stuff. Now, if you actually really put some energy into it and shake that person's etheric body while their human body's asleep, sometimes what you'll notice is you'll see like kind of the etheric eyes kind of starting to like kind of pop open a little bit, because consciousness, it's almost like while your human body is in a sleep state, consciousness has more access to obviously these other energy bodies, right? Aside from, when consciousness is really centered in your human body and you're awake and you're going to work and you're driving your car and stuff, man, your consciousness is really grounded and centered in, your human body. It's disassociated with these other energy bodies for the most part. But when your human body is asleep, though, you are so much closer, to transferring and shifting and actually projecting your consciousness into these other energy bodies. So if you're shaking someone's etheric body like vigorously, sometimes you can wake them up in their etheric body, like you kind of create an out-of-body experience for that other person. But here's the problem, though. So you might kind of like wake up their etheric body, right? But the question is, that other person, is their consciousness awake and aware enough during that experience to be able to perceive and download all of that information that's happening? So if you're waking up that etheric body and you're trying to communicate with the other person, or you're trying to get another person to have an astral projection with you at the same time, the difficult thing is that you might, like I said, you might wake up the person's etheric body, but and it might seem like they're awake, and they might even be astrally projecting in that moment to that etheric body, but that other person is not going to recollect or remember the whole experience. Okay. So I don't ever recommend trying to try to wake people's other energy bodies up while you are in an astral projection yourself. I don't recommend it. It's almost kind of like a waste of time. Also, it's kind of intrusive and kind of a, I live by the law of free will, and I believe that as long as nobody infringes on my own free will and the own free will of my consciousness, then I will not infringe on someone else's free will of their consciousness. It's almost like a universal rule set. And that's kind of one of the main rule sets in mental planes is the law of free will in how you, and how you treat people, And again, once you're in mental planes too, you can hurt people just through the mind, through thoughts. I mean, just through thoughts, you can actually do things and hurt people. So you have to really learn how to control your mental thoughts, your emotions and your intentions. Here in the human body, in this Earth experience, and also in the mental planes. But anyways, I wanted to just talk a little bit about the etheric body there, share some stuff with that, some insights, some experiences. And if you have any questions, leave them in the comments below, or just email me. I'll be more than happy to get back to you. And you guys have a wonderful day. Again, if you're not having enough positive energy in your life, here you go. Boom. Take it. Take all that positive energy. Take it all. Take it all. Take it all. I got enough for me, and then I got enough for you. All right? Peace.